Yeah, last time we did this, you were still working at your day job, but now you're doing your doing your business full time.
Yeah, full time. That was kind of fun too, because you know it was kind of scary. But then I got home the first week, and I'm like, hey, I love this. This is awesome.
Yeah, that's cool. What's the transition like? Kind of what you thought, different than what you thought.
Um, Started out really strong, like super ambitious, and then I kind of eased into it, and now I'm just like, oh, maybe I should get a little more focused here. But yeah, it was really nice. It was kind of like the first week was kind of like, well, the first I'd say month was like just playing catch up because, like I said, it was like 2 days off and then 3 days at my day job. So it was like I was always behind, and now I feel like I'm caught up to a point where I could probably take a day off if I wanted to. But yeah, it was just really hard at first, and then I kind of just settled into what I am doing now.
So I know for your business you do laser cut shapes, letters. You do 3D printed resin miniatures. You have some kind of miscellaneous FDM parts that you're selling on Amazon, eBay. You're also doing services, 3D printing services, things like that. Is it hard to kind of figure out what you want to focus your time on and kind of have the focus of the business on, or do you enjoy kind of having your hand in all these kind of different spaces?
Yeah, I kind of think about that because it's I really want to be focused. I really want to have my business be like this is what I do instead of like when people ask, I'm just like I make stuff. I so it's like I have a ton of things. There's some things that I dumped at the beginning of this year, like products that just were underperforming or I just was sick of making. But yeah, I do have like a huge variety of things that most of them I don't really enjoy doing, but they're paying the bills, so I'm kind of stuck with them for now. I would say there's some things that I'd like to pursue more, and like I said, I'd like to be known for. But yeah, it's kind of all over the place right now.
So that kind of brings me to a question that I had. If I were to ask you 2 years ago, Anthony, what do you want your business to be known for? What would you say?
Oh man, probably 2 years ago, I was doing a lot of miniatures, like train model things, and I kind of thought that that's kind of where it was gonna go. But then the end of the year, it kind of started sloping down for sales, and just kind of, I don't know, if I got just burnt out like making a new design every day. But I'd say now maybe like a local 3D print service. I really enjoy people saying, "Hey, like I got this part. I really want you to make it," and so I spend some design time, and then I come out and produce it, and then 3 months later they're like, "Hey, I need 100 more of those parts." I really enjoy that. I really like having repeat customers, but as far as like a one product, I don't necessarily think that I would like to be known for that right now.
So I know a lot of your bread and butter has been acrylic letters and shapes. So here's a question: are you passionate about laser cut or routed shapes and letters? Because I know a lot of people think because you're doing your job full time, you're just doing your passion, but sometimes that's not always the case.
Yeah, that's a really good question, and I think to answer it exactly, I'd say no. I'm not passionate about laser cut routed shapes and letters, but I am passionate about creating things. So when it comes to like a customer saying like, "Hey, I'd like to make this sign for my kid's room, and I like your acrylic letters," then I can step in with a little bit more creativity and be like, "Okay, I want to help this person. We can use our machines to make it." As far as like customers just buying it right off my website or off my Etsy page, yeah, it's kind of a bummer because I can't really like get the creative juices flowing. But I'm still passionate about making things. I love to. I mean, it's been 8 years and I still love to watch a CNC router work. So I don't know if that passion will ever go away. I mean, some people might find it boring, but I don't know.
Here's kind of another related question. Maybe it's the same question, but um, I know when we're just starting out, we don't really know exactly. We don't probably don't have our business really defined down and have a clear vision for what it is. and maybe just try a bunch of different things, see what sticks. Do you kind of just go where the money's going? There's kind of this kind of blend between, do you just kind of focus on what you are truly passionate about, or do you go where the money is, or it's something that's not as passionate for you?
Yeah, I think that there's definitely a balance there because if you just chase the money, you're gonna burn yourself out. I feel like just like, oh, everybody's printing this like controller holder thing and they're selling really good. There's a bunch of people doing it. There's I don't really agree with that because you're stealing somebody else's design probably. If you come up with your own, that's cool. Hopefully, it's better than everybody else's. But yeah, I'd say middle ground. I'd chase my passion, but I also need to make money. So yeah, definitely. It kind of goes with like everybody always talks about like finding your niche or whatever. But I would hope that you would have that from the start or have an idea, but also be like, okay, I'm not making any money on this. I need to be a little more fluid and go maybe a little bit wider on my circle.
Do you think it's maybe realistic or common or rare for someone who's just starting out in kind of the hobby space to find their identity or find their niche right away? Or do you think that takes time?
Um, I'd say it's different for everybody. I mean, obviously, like you kind of came right out of the gate with your adapters. I don't know if that's necessarily your passion, and maybe you could talk about that for a bit. But yeah, it depends. I mean, I have such a wide variety of hobbies and passions, so it's like I could make this product that I'm really passionate about, or I could jump over here. So I don't know if I'm necessarily a great example for that because I have so many different interests. And that's kind of where my business has gone. I just throw my net really wide rather than just like fish in one spot. But yeah, if you're like super confident about your product and it takes off right away, that's awesome.
So, one thing I've struggled with a lot is having my hands in a bunch of different product ideas and product different markets. I have some mason jar hanger brackets that are made out of sheet metal. I've really wanted to do laser cut light fixtures. I have these laser cutting exhaust adapter components, and it's been really hard for me to find focus because, we have lots of different skills. We can run a bunch of different machines. But for me, it's been hard. I have a hard time making progress without focus. And I feel like I've needed to kind of narrow down to one specific thing in order to kind of get traction. But for the last 3 years, I've kind of felt like a jack of all trades, master of none. And just like 6 to 8 months ago, I'm like, rather than having 5 Etsy businesses that bring in, $20,000 each, I'd love to have just one substantial business that's doing well and I can just focus on one thing. But yeah, for me, I feel like I've been kind of spinning my wheels without having focus, and I've found it necessary to kind of limit myself a little bit and focus on one particular kind of niche, which now is exhaust venting is my focus here now.
And that's something that like I struggled with is focusing because we talked about it earlier. It's like I do so much under my one Etsy store. It kind of disgusts me to go to my own page and view it and be like, what is all this crap? It's like a terrible garage sale. But it's like if I had it like, okay, this Etsy store sells acrylic letters and shapes. This one sells diorama things, and like this one. But then, like you said, it's like, do I have a bunch of different things that oh, this one's underperforming, I need to get rid of it, or do I just hang on to it because it's all making money?
What is your least favorite thing to do in your business, 3D prints?
Um, I wow. Hang on a sec. Let me. Yeah. I really hate running payroll because I always forget, and I have to do it Wednesday before noon. Otherwise, I don't get paid, and I always forget. But that's probably not it. Actually, so at the beginning of last month, I believe, my neighbor slash cousin took a couple of my Ender 3s down to his house because I hated doing those muffler housings. I hated assembling them. Every time I'd get an order, I'd be like, sweet money, but then I'm like, crap, I gotta make this. So putting them together, cutting the little filters, printing them out. So he does that now, and I'm gonna be pushing some more products his way in the next couple years as things grow. Hopefully someday we could support him and his family through our business. But yeah, certain things like that. And honestly, like some of the resin prints, just because I got to put gloves on and it's messy. But yeah, there's a lot of things that I don't like about running my own business. But yeah, what about you? What's I know marketing for sure is definitely something that we both absolutely hate.
Marketing is a four-letter word as far as I'm concerned. I hate it. Yeah, just I guess more kind of the business, kind of administrative, clerical kind of stuff. Like, um, obviously it's tax season right now, so doing a lot of that stuff. It's like taxes, finances, just a lot of like humdrum, just emails, forms. My business insurance is going to renew, so I got to do that, and that's it's a big chunk of money. So yeah, oftentimes it's, hey, you have your own job, you just get to make stuff all day. That's cool. It's like, oh, not exactly. There's a lot of stuff like I don't like packaging. I don't like. I just got back like 45 minutes ago from picking up boxes from a box supplier, which actually I don't mind that. But there's a lot of other tasks where it's like I don't just get to do the fun stuff all day. There's a lot of you know business things that you got to put on the CEO hat and the manager hat. I don't just get to be the cool techie CAD technician all day long. But
Yeah, I know what you mean. I do enjoy kind of running the roads sometimes, like, oh, I got to go pick this up. Because, like, even at my old job, I'd be like, oh, this is cool. I get to get out of the office or get out of the shop. And then, now I can be like, I can't believe, like, I own my own business. I could just hang out here all day. We could go to Craig's Cruisers or something if we wanted to go party. But then I'm like, no, I can't do that because the CEO part of me is like, you better get back to work, son. So it's a battle for sure. So people talk about business plans. Is that something that you really think about? Is that something that you kind of defined from the start or have defined it over a period of time? Because like for me at first it was just like, this is me in my garage, building things. I don't really need a business plan. I'm not like going to market with my business. I'm not gathering huge investors. Can you talk about that?
yeah, that's a really good question. So I actually just did one beginning of this year, December. So, or at the end of last year, so like 4 months ago. That was actually huge. And I was kind of on the same boat of why do I need one? Just me in my garage. I'm not presenting to investors. But towards the end of last year, I just wanted to get really focused on what my business is. And, I have my energies going in different directions. And I feel like I'm just kind of spinning my wheels, jack of all trades, master of none. I'm like, I just really want to focus on one thing and just build one substantial business. And then I came to that question of like, well, what is my business? What's the vision? And so I actually actually reached out to someone. There's a company called Score, or organization called Score.org, and they offer mentoring services. And someone recommended this resource. It was kind of a template to kind of help you create a business plan. And it was really simple and basic. And it's a one-page business plan. And I spent probably a good month or two working on that. And that was probably one of the best things maybe that's kind of happened for me for just the vision of the business, because it's helped me. Obviously, I don't need that for someone else to present, but it's really just for me of like, let me spend some time writing on paper, like, what is it that I'm doing? What is it that I'm going to invest my time in? And before, when someone would ask, which I hated that dreaded question, what do you do for work? Laser cutting, 3D printing, exhaust adapters, mason jar brackets, totally unrelated. This. And so I'm like, I always hated that question because I can't answer it. And now it's like exhaust venting solutions. We manufacture and sell exhaust venting solutions for hobbyists, homeowners, and small businesses. So exhausting laser cutters, 3D printers, portable air conditioners. And so it took a lot of time to figure out like, what is it that I want to be known for, the vision. And after I kind of defined that, which is just recently, a few months ago, Then I got focus, and then I've been able to kind of write out clear kind of goals of what I want to focus my energy on, and it's actually helped a lot.
Yeah, I really love that because it's like like you said, I hated it, and even saying like, well, I do 3D printing services. Well, it's like that's not even like a quarter of my business right now. Do I laser cut letters? Like that's kind of boring, but yeah, it's just like identifying your business, and maybe some people don't struggle with that as much. Like I don't know what it out of darts or something. They have so many printing, printers, and it's like, well, they make Nerf gun things. It's really cool. Like maybe that wasn't their vision from the start, but it's like, what is your vision, and is that evolving over time? How does that play into your business plan? So I don't know. Yeah, I really love your and like you said, finding like somebody that is not necessarily a mentor, but just like one step ahead of you. Because I think you said it too before. Is like, don't think about the Jeff Bezos. Think about the person that's one step ahead of you, and see if you could take that step. So yeah, you've been very very beneficial to me. Just having a friend that's that step ahead. So it's been really cool to be able to chat and kind of go through things like that. So I know you initially made your exhaust thing for the Glowforge for yourself. Um, what, and I'm sure you just started selling it, like you threw it on Etsy or something. Um, what made you think about just doing exhaust things then after that? Was it just like, hey, this is selling, this is very similar, I'm going to sell this thing too? Is that how your business grew, or were you just like, dude, I am super passionate about exhausting fumes out of my home?
Yeah, who is passionate about that topic? You don't ask a 5-year-old, what do you want to be when you grow up? It's like, I want to just do exhaust venting stuff. So yeah, so I'll try to keep this answer short. Um, so I would say, so I had success with it. I made it for myself because it was frustrating, and it turns out it was other people's problems too, and it solved their headaches both mentally and fumes coming in. Um, and then I had other customers like, hey, can you make a 6-inch version of it? Can you make this adapter? And so I just kind of my customers. I only created one product with my own brain, like my own kind of idea, and then my customers kind of fed me the other ideas from there, which is really nice. I obviously had to spend a lot of time designing them, but so I did that, and then it was starting to provide a full time income, which was great. That was kind of my joy, my dream. But then, I honestly, and I don't know if it's even good to say this, but honestly, I kind of fought against it for 2.5 years because I had success with this. It was providing an income, but then like I really wanted to do light fixtures. Like that's kind of what I've been kind of passionate about because it has creativity. I have to create this beautiful, elegant design, but then it also has engineering. How does it fit together and be assembled and stuff? And so someone would ask like, "What do you do?" It's like, well, I kind of have these parts that are bringing in income, but then I really want to be known for this, like creative, kind of modern, elegant light fixtures or home decor kind of wall hanging clocks and things like that. And then it wasn't until recently where I'm like, this is my business, exhaust venting solutions, and spending some time on that business plan of like, what do you want your business to be about? And then just thinking of like, where's all my experience? Exhaust venting. What do I know the most? Exhaust venting. What's actually providing an income? What's actually working? Exhaust venting. And so I'm like, this is my business. Maybe down the road after the business grows and I can hire more people and maybe I have more free time, maybe I can explore some of those more fun kind of creative ideas that I really want to pursue. But did,
Yeah.
did I answer the question or I get off tangent?
Yeah, no, yes, both. Yeah, I like what you said because I worked at a sign company and we made signs for like, I was there for like 8 years, and then I get home and I sell like cute little letters, and then I'm like, well, I have a router table, I could sell larger letters. And then not even like a week later, somebody's like, hey, I need a sign for this mall that I have. It's like a nail salon. And I'm like, dang it. Like, I didn't want to do signs. Like, what? So yeah, I've been fighting it, but at the same time, it's like I'm not a sign company, but I like to help others, you know. So it's like I'll do this once, but then it's like I've done it so often, you know. So yeah,
Yeah, so you mentioned out of darts. I was just watching some videos the other day by them. Really cool channel. One thing I like and I'm kind of envious about, not specifically him, but kind of what he has. Like you go to the channel and it's like darts. You know, there's no unclear message like what's his channel about, what's his business, Nerf mods. That's it. Um, and so I've struggled with that, kind of having my hands in a bunch of different things and trying out a different bunch of different things, and it can be hard from a marketing standpoint. Of I think with marketing, you need to be clear on your message, and when someone visits your Instagram page or YouTube channel, it's like, what do you want them to walk away from? And I don't know. Have you found it hard to figure out how to set up your Instagram pages or your YouTube channel? It's like, because I want someone just to kind of walk away with, boom, this is it. But it's challenging because you're kind of in a bunch of different spaces or.
yeah, yeah, it is because I redesigned my website like a week ago or 2 weeks ago, and I was like, I'm not gonna put all of my things on my website, like letters and miniatures, and I was like, I don't want that hodgepodge of messy. Like, what does this guy do? But I ended up putting some things on there because I wanted to kind of push my services. I want people to know when you go to this website, it's a service because when you search 3D print services near me, I'm going to show up. As far as like Etsy pages, like, yeah, I really, really want that. This guy does this and that's it. But I don't know if I'm really ready to commit to something like that. Um, but yeah, I know what you mean. Um, yeah, because you have that. You have the this guy does venting solutions. You know.
I've actually I've actually struggled with kind of my YouTube channel to figure out kind of what I want it to be. And maybe in hindsight I look back and be like, "Oh, all this stuff is venting solutions." And just last night I went to the about page and I kind of created a new about to kind of define it more along of what my business is. But yeah, I've kind of just like whatever's on my mind, I'll talk about it. But yeah, I personally feel like it's hodgepodge all over the place, but maybe it's more focused from an outsider's perspective.
I do watch some other YouTubers. That Thomas Sandlander. He does a lot. Obviously, it's like he does 3D printing, but then he uploaded a video talking about his espresso machine and how he like I don't know, he turned a 3D printer into like a little lathe and like made something for that. I really love that, but it's like I also really love coffee, so it's like is somebody else watching his video because they like coffee or do they like him? You know, and I don't think that my YouTube channel is quite to the like I like this guy. It's more of what could I get out of this person? So right now my social media is not focused at all. It's just kind of like my journey right now, what project I'm working on, um, and usually it's like a cooler project and not just something really boring. But it's weird too because some like really boring videos get the most views for some reason. So I don't pretend to understand YouTube or Instagram algorithms or anything, but yeah, I think I'd like it to be a little more focused on something that's going to help a customer rather than just like this is me right now. But maybe that's what people are going to enjoy. I don't know.
It's really hard to find that out, and I feel like so much is just throwing stuff at a wall for a while, figuring out what sticks, and then maybe the focus comes later. But
Yeah, because I mean, you have like 14,000 followers on YouTube or subscribers, I guess you call it. Um, and you have a video, I don't know if it was the whole video, but you were just sharing, like, hey, this is my son now. How does that compare to the other views? You know what I mean? So it's like, is it equal? Because it's like, if it's equal, people are there for you, you know? They're not just there for whatever, you know? Obviously, like, things have different trends, but yeah, I feel like at least for you, you got quite a decent fan base.
Yeah, it's weird because it started off as Glowforge. At one point, I would say, yeah, a huge majority, if not all, subscribers were more Glowforge enthusiasts because that was all the content that I made. It was just Glowforge content. Um, and then and then I just had a video where I just talked about kind of my journey with 3D printing. That was my first $5,000, and then so I was at like 4,000 subscribers just with Glowforgers, and then I came up with that one, and then that one really attracted a lot of 3D printing people. And I think from 4,000 to 14, I think those people have been more 3D printer enthusiasts. And so now I think most of the audience is, yeah, the 3D printing community. Um, yeah, so it's different.
Yeah, and again, like you said, you got to be a jack of all trades. It's like now you're a YouTube social media guy, you know, and it's like, do I want to do that? It's like, no, but I kind of have to get like my name out there, or at least produce content so people can be like, oh, well, what does this guy do? You know, because I've gotten quite a bit of sales just through Instagram Reels, but it's like, would I have gotten those anyway? Maybe, maybe not. So it's really, I don't know, just kind of circle back to like the business identity is like, could I have defined that earlier? What's my YouTube channel going to be? What's my Instagram page going to be? Is it going to be behind the scenes, or am I just going to show finished products? So yeah, there's a lot of stuff to think about.
Yeah, yeah, this has been such a huge journey for me of just figuring out what my identity is. And I've just looked with envy on so many other kind of YouTubers, and everyone seems like they got it going on, but they all have their own struggles. But other people, it was just very clear. It's like, oh, they do this one thing, like that's awesome. But then for me, because I'm just very creative, maybe scatterbrain, is like I don't want to just do one thing. That's boring. Like I want to do CNC and laser cutting. I want to do vacuum forming. Like I want to do all this stuff, and I could never just focus on one thing. But then it's so hard because I go to this channel and it's just like, yep, this guy sells SVG files, and that's all he does, and he's memorable. And if I ever need an SVG file, boom, this guy. And then you come to my page, it's like he does this, and then like someone else asks that person like, "Hey, what does Joe Martinson do on his channel?" It's like, um, I mean, he kind of does this, but then he does this, and then that person's like, "So he does this?" Well, yeah, but kind of, and yeah. So I feel like finding that identity, narrowing down on that focus of what that is, to really, yeah, I think it could be huge just in terms of getting traction.
Yeah, as we end this, is there? First of all, I want to thank you again for recording a video with me. Is is there anything that's on your mind for the next like 2 to 5 years where it's like I kind of want my business to go this way, or is that kind of secretive right now?
No, yeah. I mean, writing a business plan, kind of having a more clear vision for my business. Yeah, exhaust venting solutions is my business. Exhaust venting solutions for hobbyists, homeowners, small businesses. Yeah, I think a big space is going to be exhausting laser cutters, and then portable air conditioners, venting the heat out of the windows. And so there's so many different applications. I learn more applications every day. You got resin printers. There's dental offices that make little resin molds, and those things smell up with fumes. There's so many different hobbies, and yeah, so many different hobbies that require exhausting fumes. And I just want to dive into all of it and provide solutions. And I've only had just a few products on my website, and I really just want to expand. I really want to expand. I want to become kind of just a leader in these spaces of Martinson Manufacturing. That is the go-to place. Any kind of exhaust adapter you need for any type of piece of equipment, anything from the back of the machine to out the window, he's your go-to guy, and he has every accessory you could think of. I'd love to start having even hoses and being kind of a dealer for AC Infinity and putting other products on the website. But yeah, that's kind of the vision
So
for the business.
more grow vertically and not horizontally. Just like we're doing this now, instead of like I'm gonna do this and this. So yeah, that's cool. That's good to have that focus.
Yeah,
So
100%. Yeah, let me throw that question back at you. How about you?
oh, um, yeah. So this year, I definitely want to focus on 3D print services. I have a couple clients now that have been very good repeat customers, and I always just get really excited when I get an email from them. Just like, hey, I need 1,000 more of these. So yeah, probably just fish out for some of them. I At the beginning of the year, I kind of made a couple new products myself, and it kind of just flopped. And I just hate marketing so much; it's not really worth it for me right now. So I'm gonna just kind of chase the customer, and see what their need is and meet them there rather than try to come up with a solution that might not even be that great. So I know a lot of people say, well, I'm going to do 3D printing services. It's like, well, I'm in a small town. There's another place over in Ann Arbor that's a really big place. But as far as like tiny little town here, it's, I could grow quite a bit. But yeah, more printers, more customers that way. So that's kind of, I have aspirations to do some other things that would be really cool, but again, that's like a totally different other field that I don't really necessarily want to tackle now. So definitely kind of on the grow vertically along with you. I don't necessarily want to cast my net any further. But yeah.
Yeah, well, hopefully next time we do one of these videos, you have just tons of shelves with 20 different bamboo printers on them and you're just cranking away.
Yeah, I love the bamboo printers.
Well, cool. This has been great. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
And yeah, we'll do one again soon.
Yeah, awesome.
Cool.